Hello everyone, welcome to Mechanical Vibration lecture. In this lecture, we are going to discuss a vibration analysis of viscously damped multi-degree of freedom system under external excitations. So here we are given with three masses system, M1, M2, M3. So, and these masses are connected with the help of springs K1, K2, K3 and three dampers C1, C2 and C3. This is rigid spot here. So this is our X1T and external force F1T, and this is X2T, F2T, and this is X3T, F3T. And we are given here K1, K2, K3 all are equal to K, and C1, C2, C3 all are equal to C, and M1, M2, M3 all are equal to M. And F1T, F2T, F3T equals to F naught cos omega T, and omega excitation frequency given as 1.75 under root K by M radian per second. And damping ratio for each mode, which is zeta, is given as 0.01 and I equals to 1, 2, 3. So we need to find out the steady state response of the system. So as we discussed in our lecture, so first step is to develop the governing equation for multi-degree of freedom system. So governing equation given as m x double dot plus c x dot plus k x is equal to ft. So here this is mass matrix, damping matrix, stiffness matrix, and force vector. So first of all, we need to find out the governing equation using the free body diagram. So in this lecture, we are not going to discuss the whole process because already we had discussed in the last lecture. But we discussed that if we are measuring the displacement x1t, x2t, x3t exactly from the point where the mass is lumped, like this mass m1 is lumped at this point, and we are measuring x1 from this point only. Similarly, m2 is lumped at this point and we are measuring x2 from this point only. Similarly, in the case of x3, m3, we are measuring x3 from the point where the m3 is lumped. So in this type of cases, always mass matrix is diagonal matrix. So we can write m equals to m1 0 0 0 m2 0 0 0 m3, and this also can be generated using the free body diagram and force equilibrium approach, but those we have discussed. So in this lecture we are going to write directly the stiffness matrix, and in the last lecture we discussed Kij equals to K11, K12, K13, this is K21, K22, K23 and K31, K32 and K33. So as we discussed, Kij means force induced at point I due to unit displacement at J point when all the other points, all other points except J is are fixed. So it means K11 when point 1 is given with unit displacement and all other points are fixed, so force induced at point 1 only. So as we know that if we give the unit displacement to the this point and all other points, this point is fixed, this m3 is fixed, so if we give the unit displacement, this will experience the force K1 multiplied by 1 and K2 multiplied 1. So K1 plus K2. So we can say K1 1 equals to K1 plus K2. Similarly, K21 is equal to the force induced at point 2 when the unit displacement given at 1. So if we displace mass m1 with unit displacement and m2 and m3 are fixed, so m2 will experience a force k2 multiplied by 1 in this direction. So we can say this is minus k2. Similarly, k31, k31. So if this is fixed, and we are giving the displacement at 1, then m3 will not experience any force. So this is 0. Similarly, we can write k12. So k12 means when we are giving unit displacement at 2, so force induced at 1. So now 1 is fixed, 2 is displaced by unit displacement. So in this case, the 1 will experience a k2 multiplied by 1 in this direction. So this is minus k2. And similarly, we can write another component also, k22, k23. So k22, the force induced at 2 when unit displacement at given at 2 only. So this will experience k2 multiplied by 1, k3 multiplied by 1. So this is k2 plus k3. So we can say this is k2 plus k3. Similarly, this is minus k3, and k13 is equal to, we can write this 0, and k23 is when unit displacement given to 3, so force induced at 2. So this is minus k3, and k33 is k3 only. So if we use this, so our k matrix is k1 plus k2 minus k2 0 minus k2 k2 plus k3 minus k3. This is 0, this is minus k3 and 0. And damping force also, because all the dampers are connected in the parallel in the symmetry with respect to spring. So C would be C1 plus C2, 0. Oh, this is minus C2, this is 0, minus C2, C2 plus C3, and minus C3, 0, minus C3, and this is C3. So these are our stiffness, damping, and mass matrix. So next step is to find out or solve the eigenvalue problem. So step second is solve eigenvalue problem to find out omega i's natural frequencies and modal matrix phi or mode shapes. So already we have find out in the last lecture, we have find out the eigenvalues and mode shapes for this problem. So here we can say for this we need to determinate of k minus omega square m is equal to 0. If we solve this, we'll find out omega 1, omega 2, and omega 3. So here I am going to write the values of omega 1, omega 2, and omega 3 from the previous problems. So omega 1 we find out as omega 1 was 0.44504 under root k by m radian per seconds, and omega 2 1.2471 under root k by m and omega 3 we find out as 1.8025 under root k by m. And when we replace these values into k minus omega square m phi, this is omega I, phi I is equal to 0. If we replace the values of omega i's here, then we can find out the phi i's or mode shapes. So mode shapes we find out, and then we normalize those mode shapes. So I'll write here mass orthonormal mode shapes. Orthonormal modes for this problem, because we are going to discuss the solution of multi-degree of freedom system. We are not going to discuss about the how to find out mode shapes. Already we know that these things, so we can write 0.3280 over under root m. This is 1 1.8019 2.2470. So this is was our first mode. This is second mode was 0.7370 over under root m, and this is 1 1.4450 and minus 0.8020, and our omega 3 third mode say was 1 minus 1.2468, and this is 0.5544 multiplied by 0.5911 over under root m. So in the last lecture we calculated omega 1, omega 2, all the natural frequencies and all the mode shapes. Then we orthonormalize all the mode shapes and we got these mode shapes from there. So now we'll write these mode shapes into the model matrix form. So model matrix are, our model matrix phi is equal to phi 1, phi 2, phi 3, and we write this 1 over under root m. This is 0.3280, 0.5911, this is 0.7370, 0.7370, 0.3280, and this is minus 0.5911, 0.5911 minus 0.7370, and this is 0.3280. So this is our model matrix phi. So as we know that in the model analysis, this was our mx double dot plus cx dot plus kx is equal to ft, and we say that from model expansion theorem x is equal to phi q, and if we replace x dot is equal to phi q dot and x double dot is equal to phi q double dot, if we replace these values into this equation, then this becomes m phi q double dot plus c phi q dot plus k phi q is equal to ft, and on pre-multiply this equation with phi t, then we'll have phi t m phi q double dot plus phi t c phi q plus phi t k phi q is equal to phi transpose f t. So here we know that this term phi t m phi equals to mi, and phi t c phi is equal to ci, and if modes are mass orthonormal, this is 1, this is 2 zeta I omega I, and phi t k phi equals to ki. This is modal mass, this is modal viscous damping constant, and this is modal stiffness, which is omega I square. So we can write this is modal mass and this is viscous damping, viscous modal damping constant, modal damping constant, and this is modal stiffness. So now, and phi t, this is phi t multiplied by ft can be written as qt. This is modal force. So modal force. So now we will find out the modal force vector qt. So qt, as we know that phi transpose multiplied by ft. So now we can find out the transpose of modal matrix. So modal matrix already we have find out. So transpose of that, or we can say qt is transpose of modal matrix is 1 over under root m, and this can be written as 0.3280, 0.5911, 0.7370, and this is 0.7370 and 0.3280. This is 0.5911 and this is 0.5911 minus 0.7370, and this is 0.3280. So this is transpose of modal matrix, and you know that force vector is F naught cos omega t, F naught cos omega t, F naught cos omega t, F1t, F2t, and this is F3t. So this can be written as Q1 naught, Q2 naught, Q3 naught multiplied by cos omega t. So now if we solve this, we can find out the value of Q1 naught. So if we solve this, we can find out, or we can obtain values of Q1 naught is equal to F naught over under root m, and 0.3280 multiplied by F naught over under root m plus 0.5911 multiplied by under root F naught by m plus this. So we add all these three value, will find out, or will have 1.6561, and similarly value of Q2 naught is equal to F naught over under root m, and if we use the second row of this, matrix, second row of this matrix, then we'll have a value as 0.4739. And similarly, we can find out the value of Q3 naught, which is F naught over under root m. And if we use the third row of this matrix and multiplied by this, then F naught by under root m can be taken as common. And this minus this plus this, then value of this will come at as 0. Multiplied by 0.1821. So now we know the value of generalized force vector. So if this is the value of this vector, then we can write the governing equation in the form of principal coordinates. So we can say the governing equations in form of principal coordinates, and that is Qi for ith mode, Qi double dot plus 2 zeta I omega I Qi dot plus omega I square Qi is equal to Qi naught dot over multiplied by cos omega t. So this is the governing equation for ith mode. So we know that this equation is analogous to single degree of freedom system. So steady state solution for this equation, we can write the steady state solution for this equation can be written as Qit is equal to Qi naught amplitude multiplied by cos omega t minus phi I. So this is the solution. Here I equals to 1, 2, 3. So now this Qi naught amplitude of this response, and this is the solution in form of principal coordinate. So amplitude can be written as, we know that this is can be written as Qi naught over Ki divided by 1 minus omega over omega I whole square plus 2 zeta I omega over omega I whole square and square root of whole term. So, and phi I can be find out tan inverse 2 zeta I, and this is Ri, which is omega over omega I over 1 minus omega over omega I whole square. So using this relationship, we can find out the phi I, and this relationship can be find out the amplitude of response. So for this particular example, if we replace all the values of Q1 naught, the Q, if we are find out the Q1t, then this becomes I equals to 1. So this is Q1 naught, this is K1. Again, K1 is equal to omega 1 square. So we can write Here ki equals to omega I square, and if we are talking about the first degree of freedom, then k1 is equal to omega 1 square, because this we can find out from the stiffness matrix only, because modes are orthonormal, then k1 is equal to omega 1 square, and this omega is excitation frequency which is given to us. This omega I is natural frequency of ith mode, and zeta I is stiffness factor for ith mode which is given to us. So we, by using the values of omega 1 naught, here we find out the omega 1 naught, omega 2 naught, omega 3 naught. By replacing these values at this place, we can find out the value of k I naught. So if we replace these values, so substituting, we can say on substituting the values of qi naught, omega i's, and zeta I in equation of qi naught, we have q1 naught equals to 0.57815 f naught under root m over k, and phi 1 equals to tan inverse minus 0.00544, and similarly q2 naught equals to 0.31429 f naught under root m over k, and phi 2 as tan inverse minus 0.02988, and q3 naught as 0.92493 f naught under root m over k, and this is phi 3 tan inverse 0.33827. If you replace all the values into these formulas, we'll have these values. So now using these values, finally we can find out the steady state response. So steady state response in the form of principal coordinates can be written as steady state response can be written as q1 naught, q1 t is equal to q1 naught is 0.57815 f naught under root m over k cos excitation frequency omega t minus phi 1 is here, so we can calculate this and we can replace the values over here. Similarly q2t can be written as 0.3149429 f naught under root m over k cos excitation frequency omega minus phi 2. Phi 2 can be replaced at this place, and similarly q3t is 0.92493 f naught under root m over k cos omega t minus phi 3. So these are the responses in form of, you can write in form of principal coordinates. So this response in the form of principal coordinates can be converted into the generalized physical coordinates. So we can write the response in form of generalized physical coordinates. So we know that the x1t is model matrix phi multiplied by q. So x1t can be written as phi 11 multiplied by q1t plus phi 21 multiplied by q2t plus phi 31 q3t, because this is phi 11, phi 21, phi 31, phi 12, phi 22 and phi 32, and this is third mode shape phi 13, phi 23 and phi 33, and this is vector q1t, q2t and q3t. So if we write x1t, then this would be something like this. So we can use the model matrix, and q1t, q2t and q3 already we have find out. So similarly, q2t can be written as phi 21 q1t plus phi 22 q2t plus phi 32 q3t, and this is x3t. Using the third row of this matrices, we can write phi 31 q1t plus phi 32 q3t, sorry, this is q2t, and phi 33, this is q3t. So this is the response in form of generalized physical coordinates. So this is how we can solve a multi-degree of freedom system with viscous damping when it's excited by a external harmonic force. So this is the complete procedure. So thank you. In the next lecture, we are going to discuss about the response of multi-degree of freedom system under the arbitrary excitation. Thank you.